Alrighty, all, welcome back to the channel. My name is Tommy, and of course this is the Gallery Backyard Barbecue, and I do apologize. We are dealing with some usual nasty weather here in the Garden State, but we will try to get through this as quickly as possible. And today's show is going to be all about that new Oklahoma Joe Tahoma. They are calling it an auto feed. I am calling it a gravity fed, and those who follow the channel know. I mean, I got my bones with that Masterbuilt gravity fed. I've had them all. I've had the 1050, the 800, and the 560. So when it comes to gravity feds, there is not really too much that I don't know. So look, this show is going to be all about an unboxing of this Tahoma by Oklahoma Joe. I mean, look, this alone here has got to weigh 50, 60, 70 pounds. Oh, yeah. So we will unbox it, and then I will take you step by step how to assemble it. And look, like I always say, you want to use this video to assemble it because it's going to show you step by step, but you definitely want to look over the manual. And look, without further ado, let's just jump right into it and get on with step one. So look, before we get on to step one and step two, I just want to give a quick mention. This thing was packed perfectly. There was no damaged pieces, and also, as I mentioned in the opening, it is heavy, man. Every piece has some weight to it. There is no cheap parts on this pit, that is for sure. Now look, step one and step two is going to be your wheels. Find your two locking casters and get those screwed in. Then also get your axle, get your two big wheels. And I got to tell you, man, again, man, these wheels are heavy. This is some good stuff. There is no doubt about it. Slip that axle through, get your cotter pin, get yourself a washer, and get those wheels on. Alrighty guys, from there you're going to grab number 25 and 26. That is going to be your rear and front leg assembly. Now look, this is the only thing you need to know about this is you got to get that angle right. Have that angle facing out, screw those down, and we will move on to the next step, which is going to be all about your left firebox panel. You will get that screwed down with 3 screws, and that is all there is to it. And from there, it is number 31. That is going to be your firebox support. Make sure you push it up aside on that panel, screw it down, and you are good to go. Alrighty guys, number 32 is going to be your right firebox panel. You are going to get your 3 screws, get them in halfway. You want to keep them up, drop that panel in, move it over, screw it down. Just pay attention to the orientation on how the panel sits. Number 33 is going to be that right firebox panel support. That is just going to press up what you just installed. Couple screws in and you are good for the next step. So guys, number 40 is going to be that firebox chute assembly. And again, this sucker has some weight to it. There is no doubt about it. Get yourself 2 of the 8 screws that you're going to need to install it. You are going to screw them, 2 of them into the assembly. Leave them halfway out. Take note to where you are going to drop it in, and you will see where it is going to be a groove there where it is going to fit right in. Once you get that drop down, grab those other 6 screws and screw the whole thing down. Number 34 and number 35 is going to be your rear firebox panel, and of course your bracket for the panel. Just pay attention to the orientation on how it sits. Once you get that installed, bring it on over to the unit, drop it in place, hit it with the screws, and we are on to the next step. 41 and 42 is going to be your damper tile and also your damper flat assembly. That is 1, 2, 3. Drop the tile down. It just sits there as far as I know. And follow along on the assembly. That is 1, 2, 3. Now it is on to the next step. And that next step is going to be number 36 and number 37. That is going to be your rear firebox panel and also the bracket. Again, just pay attention to the orientation. You're going to have a little bit of hole there when you go to install it. Just pop that damper flat assembly through, screw it down, and you are good to go. 38 and 39 is going to be the damper mod assembly. That is going to be 2 pieces. Grab that cotter pin to secure it. Then grab the knob, that's going to go on, and we are moving right along to the next step. You may need to grab a second pair of hands for this step. I was able to manage it myself. grab the unit, get it on the cart. You've got a couple screws on this end. You've got 4 screws on this end. Get it all screwed down, and we are 3/4 done. Now let's get that handle on. That is going to go on with 4 screws. That is pretty simple. From there, 19 and 20, it is going to be the heat diverter plate and also the heat flange. Let's get that flange on first. That is going to be a couple screws. Then follow that up with the plate. 14 and 15 are next. You've got a support bracket for the heat baffle and also your chamber grease funnel. You will get all that screwed down as showed on the screen. We are just about done with the inside. Now let's move on to the hopper. Installing the hopper is very simple. You will back out 2 screws on the unit as shown. From there, grab the hopper, hang it up. Go below, you've got a couple screws to screw it down. Once you get that all screwed down, it is time to move on to the next step. And that next step is going to be number 51. That is the shutter panel assembly. And please take note here, the way you think it goes is probably not the way it goes. You want the flaps going down and going in. That is going to stop your airflow when need be. When the fan is off, they will shut. And that should also stop sparks and ash from flying into the chamber. So I am real interested to see how that works. Get that all screwed in. From there, you are going to grab the fan and the fan housing. You are going to have a wire on the fan. Pay attention to that. When you install the 2 together, you want that wire to dangle out because when you get it installed on the unit, you're going to have to make a connection. Once you get that all fixed up, bring it over to the unit itself. A couple screws, screw it down, double check that wire, and we are just about done. So once you get that fan hooked up and you make sure that wire is dangling out where I showed you, it is time to make the wire connections. Then grab your wire guard. This is going to come in 2 parts. The first part is going to screw on. Then you will run the wires up to keep them sealed. Get that second part, screw that on. So we've only got a couple steps to go, I promise, and 2 of those steps right here is get number 43 and 58. That is going to be a small grate and also your ash catcher tray. First off, get that small grate installed in there. Make sure top is top. Then slide in that big drawer. Next up, grab your front shelf. You want to get some screws where it can hang. 2 of them go in. Hang the shelf, screw it down underneath, and we are on to just about the last step, I promise. Alrighty, we are going to close this one out on the other side with the control panel. The first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to hide those wires. Once you get that screwed down, grab the control panel, grab the shelf, and also a little bit of a bracket. Screw that control panel into the shelf. Grab that bracket. That is going to give you some stability. Take the whole thing over to the pit. Be cautious of all the wiring. Screw it to the pit. After you get all that screwed up, you've got your wires connected. Let's get that smokestack all screwed up. That is going to come in from the inside out. At that point, the only thing left to do is to get all those grates on. I am not going to bore you with that. That is going to be your assembly Oklahoma Joe Tahoma. And again, I gotta tell you, man, this sucker is definitely built like a tank. It has some weight to it, that is for sure. And I am definitely looking forward to firing this bad boy up. My next video will be a quick pre-season of this pit. And then it is time to cook on it. Leave your suggestions down in the description. What should my first cook be? Again, my name is Tommy. I appreciate you all for watching. I hope this helped you out. And until next time, we will see you soon.